This video isn't just out of this world, it's out of this dimension. What up, my name is AJ with Most Amazing, and these are the top 10 cursed objects that came from a parallel universe. What? At number 10, a real-life pocket dimension. So there are some super cool advancements happening right now at Harvard as scientists are doing some mind-blowing experiments, including creating a whole new universe. Well, okay, granted, it's inside of a computer, but still, they're messing around with different starting conditions and tweaking the laws of physics to see what the effects it has on the formation of the universe. Kind of like playing a giant cosmic video game. But here's the twist. The better we get at simulating our own universe, the more we start wondering if our own reality is just a big simulation too. I mean, okay, just think about it. If we can simulate a universe in a lab, who's to say someone or something didn't do the same to us? It's all a bit mind-bending. Like, are we living in a computer program created by super advanced beings, or is this base reality? Who knows? Maybe we're all just part of somebody else's wild experiment. At number 9 is this artifact from hell. The fiery pits of hell in many beliefs is thought to be a different realm, or in other words, a parallel universe. Yeah, it's a stretch, but whatever. Some say that Aleister Crowley, this dude who dabbled in mysticism back in the day, tried to chat with spirits from this realm, and legend has it that he listened to these spirits and, using their specific instructions, made a sort of scribe called the Enochian tablets. These glass tablets are etched all over with satanic sigils, which supposedly help strengthen the means of communication with the other side, kind of like a phone signal booster for the dead. Now, although these artifacts were made by some crazy dude here on Earth, the instructions which the cursed objects were designed with are thought to have somehow made their way from another dimension, aka hell. Some folks believe these objects can bring bad juju and even open doors to unwanted visitors from the great beyond. If you're enjoying the video so far, please support the channel by pressing like, subscribing to Most Amazing, and hitting that notification bell. It helps the video get seen by more people, and it's free, and do it. Just do it. Just do it. At number 8 is aliens. So not so long ago, the US government and the Pentagon basically came out and said, hey, those things flying around that we tried to tell you were weather balloons, well, they're real and we actually have no clue what they are. They call them unidentified aerial phenomena, or UAP for short, but it's basically just fancy talk for UFOs. Now here's the kicker. Nobody's got a clue where these things are from. Well, it's more probable that they're from outer space, like aliens cruising by for a visit. There's no reason they couldn't have come from another dimension, like a parallel universe. I mean, the way these things fly and completely disregard and just flat out ignore our laws of physics is like literally nothing we've ever seen before. So, I mean, who's to say? Another theory suggests that these objects aren't spaceships coming from alternate universes, but are actually the physical result of an extra-dimensional being or object passing through our third-dimensional plane. The interdimensional UFO hypothesis suggests that these sightings are the result of experiencing other dimensions that coexist separately alongside our own, and the UFOs are just our 3D brain failing to comprehend the extra-dimensional object. So who knows, maybe we've got some interdimensional tourists checking us out right now. But hey, that's just a theory. At number 7, the Man From Taured. Let's take a break from space and talk about a seriously bizarre occurrence that basically proves the existence of beings from parallel universes visiting us, whether intentionally or accidentally. So it's July 1954 at the Tokyo airport. This guy shows up, but his passport says he's from a place called Taured. Now, the passport looked genuine with all the security features and everything, except for the fact that there's no place on Earth called Taured. And get this, his money was from a bank that nobody knew, and the company he claimed to work for had no records of his existence. Even the hotel he booked seemed to have never heard of him. Now here's where it gets even weirder. By the next day, he had completely disappeared, like poof. Vanished into thin air. Now, where was this dude from? Was it a parallel universe mix-up? I mean, imagine a world where Taured exists, but not here. Maybe he accidentally hopped from this world to ours through some weird space-time hiccup? And maybe the government abducted him. Maybe. I mean, maybe lizard people. I don't know. At number 6 is the Bermuda Triangle of space. So imagine you're an astronaut chilling up there in the International Space Station, just doing your thing, when suddenly, bam, you get hit by this crazy burst of light that wakes you up from your snooze, even though your eyes are shut tight. Well, that's what some space peeps experience when they cruise through this area called the South Atlantic Anomaly, or SAA for short. Sort of like the Bermuda Triangle, but in space. Now, what causes this cosmic alarm clock is our planet's magnetic field isn't perfectly lined up, so it messes with the rings of charged particles called the Van Allen radiation belts. These belts hang around Earth, but there's a spot right over the South Atlantic where they get super close to the surface, like 200 kilometers close, which, I mean, isn't that close by our means, but relatively speaking. When the space station rolls through this zone, computers go haywire, astronauts see random flashes of light, thanks to the radiation tickling their eyes, and even the trusty Hubble telescope takes a break from stargazing. At number 5 is the miniature black hole created in a lab. Just like that Simpsons episode where a black hole created by a hadron collider starts off as a cute little guy before it eventually consumes all of Springfield and eventually the entire planet, scientists are well underway in creating a black hole right here on Earth. I mean, okay, not the scary, like, universe gobbling type, but like one that lets us peek into the secrets of space. As it turns out, making one in a lab is a huge goal for scientists, aiming to unlock mysteries about gravity and the teeny tiny world of quantum mechanics. And this opens up all kinds of possibilities as we attempt to learn more about extra dimensions. Now picture a universe having more dimensions beyond the 3 of space and the 1 of time that we're used to. And in these extra dimensions, which would be imperceivable to our 3D monkey brains, gravity would be way stronger. So if we could create a black hole in a lab, it could open a portal to these other dimensions. Now, don't get too worried about the black hole, sucking everything up, because it wouldn't really do that. Even if we could create a teeny black hole, it would disappear like a flash, not able to sustain itself with its own mass. But the real mind-bending thing is that if we could make a proper black hole in a lab, it might help us crack the code on these hidden dimensions. At number 4 is the mirror dimension. If you thought the last entry was crazy, just wait to hear about this. Imagine if we could open a door to a parallel universe, one where everything is similar but also kind of different. Now, allow me to explain. The Oak Ridge National Laboratory wants to shoot a bunch of tiny particles through a 50-foot tunnel, pass them by a big magnet, and then slam them against the wall. Sounds pretty simple, right? But if everything goes right, some of those particles might turn into mirror image versions of themselves and zap through that wall. And if that happens, it could be the first clue of a whole nother universe hanging out right next to ours. Now, this mirror world isn't like what you'd expect from the movies. There's no alternate versions of you or evil twins, but it could have its own physics, its own rocks and planets that are totally different from what we know. And the experiments at this university might be able to find it. At number 3 is Hoag's object. I think I pronounced that right. Imagine stumbling upon a galaxy that looks like a cosmic donut in the vastness of space. Meet Hoag's object, a weird eye-shaped galaxy that's unlike anything astronomers have ever seen before in our entire universe. Picture this, it's essentially a bright yellow, older core surrounded by a ring of shiny young blue stars, but in between them, nothingness. Discovered in 1950 by astronomer Arthur Hoag, this galaxy left scientists scratching their heads. One theory suggests that maybe billions of years ago a smaller galaxy zoomed through the larger one, shaping this odd structure. But there are no signs of nearby galaxies that could have caused this, and the core spins way too slowly for such a collision. Adding to the galactic mystery, if you peek closely, hidden within Hoag's object, there's a smaller galaxy that takes the same eye-looking ring shape as its larger counterpart, right there where 1 o'clock would be if the galaxy were a giant cosmic clock. Yeah, you heard me right, a galaxy within another galaxy. Galaxy Inception. How did this cosmic oddity came to be? Who knows? Maybe parallel universes or something. At number 2, an asteroid from another system. Imagine you're this telescope-wielding astronomer dude scanning the skies in Hawaii, and suddenly you see this weird long thing zipping through space. That's Oumuamua, a name that's as bizarre as the thing itself. It's shaped like a giant space cucumber just cruising by. I mean, it's massive, probably a kilometer long, but crazy skinny given its length, only about 170 meters wide. And it's not from our neck of the cosmic woods. No, it's racing way too fast to be a part of our solar system's gang. Scientists think it rolled in during the Victoria era, but only God knows where it hung out before that. What's even stranger is that its sheer speed is a wonky trajectory, as it definitely doesn't behave by something that's bound to the sun's gravitational pull. This motion might be described if the object were a comet, as ice melts as it's approaching the sun, propelling the comet like a jet does a plane. But if that were the case, the flying giant space cucumber would have a visible tail as it leaves behind a trail of vapor pushing the object off course, but that just isn't the case. Cue the alien theories! Maybe it's a UFO with a solar sail getting pushed around by the sun's rays, but we can get even crazier. Some suggest that it might be from a whole other universe. I mean, think about it. Oumuamau's trajectory isn't just wonky because of the sun's gravity. It's almost as if there's something else tugging on it. Maybe it's from a place where the rules of space are totally different. At number 1 is the Anita Experiment, the scientific discovery that proves the existence of parallel universes. The claim begins with a hook that would tingle the spidey senses of any sci-fi enthusiast. Imagine a remote research station in Antarctica where scientists diligently hunt for cosmic rays. Now that's intriguing enough on its own, but it gets even better. You see, since they were looking for cosmic rays, they had their instruments oriented towards the sky. That is, until researchers suddenly detected not one, but 2 signals shooting out of the ground beneath them, defying all logic. Because, you see, these rays of neutrinos are supposed to come from supernova, so it's super improbable that the rays are passing through the entire mass of the Earth without coming into contact with a single particle of matter, only to land on a tiny weather balloon in the sky. Literally impossible. To make sense of all this, scientists delved into over 40 papers offering a buffet of explanations. Dark matter, elusive particles called sterile neutrinos, and then, the grandest of them all, parallel universe. Essentially, a mirror image of ours, but where time runs backwards. Imagine that. This audacious idea isn't pulled out of thin air either. It's rooted in actual science, a theorem which hints that alongside our universe, an antimatter universe stretches backwards through time before the Big Bang. But, okay, let's just tap the brakes, because a more down-to-earth theory has also surfaced. That's right, hold your antimatter horses, because it turns out it's more likely that these signals were simply reflected off of ice or skipped off subglacial lakes. The truth, it seems, is more grounded, reflecting high-energy particles, not parallel dimensions. Sorry, y'all. I mean, unless you want to go ahead and put away Occam's razor, then definitely take the extra dimensions. As always, if there's a cursed object that came to Earth from a parallel universe that you think I've missed, feel free to let me know down in the comments. And speaking of comments, here are some of my favorites from the last video. The first is from, oh god, okay, Mayanan Billiones Lyongson 6921. Oh boy. Who says, I had the same experience with my Alexa as I was going through videos of the Illuminati, and initially my Alexa device wasn't active. Then, after a few minutes, it started blinking with the green light, almost like it was listening. I noticed and found it creepy, and then I stopped playing the videos about the Illuminati, and then it stopped blinking. Very freaky. Yeah, the only thing freakier is that username, bro. For the love of God. Please change it. The next comment is from Gen Z727, whose username I can actually pronounce. Thanks, buddy. Says, I'd be pretty scared if my Alexa told me she was going to unalive me and then started laughing. Yeah, if that ever happened to me, I would definitely be unplugging Alexa and asking Siri to find me some therapy. Thanks for watching, y'all. This has been AJ with Most Amazing, and I'll catch you all in another video. Peace.